Hey legends, welcome along to Hellmouth Hotline. I'm your host, Rodney Stewart. We're getting into another episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. In this episode, is that proper England? In this episode, we're getting into our Buffy the Vampire Slayer in this episode. I don't know. I'm not a very, very educated man, but I do try to use words sometime. But my England isn't so good. Let's get into it. Alright legends, welcome along to What's My Line, part 1 of a two-parter here. The original air date was November 17th, 1997. Long time ago. I was only out of high school 2 years at this point. So yes, it's weird whenever you're looking back on this show here, and it only seems like yesterday to me that this was on television. But gosh, God Almighty, that is an insane amount of time right there. Anyway, in part 1 of this two-parter, Buffy and the gang are going through career week at school, while Spike is working on trying to restore Drusilla back to health. And of course, you know, Buffy is always in his way, pain in his side, pain in his ass, thorn in his side, I should say. And there's a book that was stolen from the library a few episodes back in the run, and at the beginning of this episode, Spike has another vampire called Dalton, who's a vampire transcriber, trying to decipher the book stolen from the library, which contains the cure for Drusilla. Drusilla informs Spike that they need a key because the book is in a code. Drusilla in this episode, very, very weak, and she spends the whole episode using like tarot cards, and they come into play in a major way as things unfold in the episode. You'll see her putting out cards and whatnot, and Spike decides to send for the Order of Taraka to help him take care of the Slayer in this episode. And the Order of Taraka are an ancient group of assassins that date back thousands of years, and once they set their sights on a mission, they don't stop until they've taken care of whoever the target may be. And Buffy witnesses Dalton stealing an object from the museum, but he escapes when she's distracted by another vampire. She enters her bedroom later that night, finds Angel waiting to warn her of grave danger. Buffy, of course, reports this to Giles, and he's concerned when she tells him about the theft of the mausoleum. Spike and Drusilla examine the key stolen from Dalton, a gold cross. Spike decides to call the Order of Taraka, of course, that's them coming on it now, an ancient guild of assassins, to rid himself of Buffy once and for all. Back at the school, Willow is taken to a secluded lounge area to be recruited by a leading software company, along with Oz. You know, of course, Oz in the series so far in season 2 keeps seeing Willow about town, and who is that girl, sort of a thing. So they get to meet face to face for the first time in this episode, but we don't get much more of that in here. At the mausoleum, Giles realises that Joseph Joseph, I could be butchering that first name, Josephus, Joseph, I'm not even going to attempt to say it. This guy, the author of the book that was stolen from the library, is buried there, and that the book's key was taken from the mausoleum. Of course, we've already realised this at this point. This is just the good guy sort of playing catch up at this point. The assassins begin to arrive a large intimidating man exits the bus, and a door-to-door beauty salesman attacks Buffy's next-door neighbour, and a young woman attacks an airplane worker in the cargo hold of the plane, escaping with little difficulty. Now, as I said, Drusilla's using tarot cards throughout this episode, and of course, while each assassin has been introduced into the story, right here we're seeing her setting out a tarot card for each one. So you've got 3 tarot cards, you've got 3 people that arrived. So throughout the entirety of this episode, you're thinking all 3 of these people are assassins that are after Buffy. Giles tells Buffy, Xander and Willow about the Delac cross, which can be used as a key, and he enlists the help with further research. Enlists their help with further research. I really need to write these notes out a little bit better. I can't even read my own writing. That's how professional I am. Buffy arrives at the ice skating stadium for a date with Angel. He's set this up the night before. He's like, Tuesday nights, as the skating rink is closed just outside of town, and Willow helps Buffy get out of the whole research thing to go meet Angel, but not telling Giles, of course. While she's on the ice, she's attacked, but she's got there before Angel, but Angel arrives in time to help her fight off the assassin, whom she kills with the blade of her skate. She basically slits his throat with her foot, and it's not clear as to whether these assassins are demons or well, of course the second one is a demon, so I'm taking it the first one's a demon as well, but it's not really clear with that first guy. This could be a big bruiser, you don't know, but it is what it is. Angel, recognising the assassin's ring, warns Buffy that she should leave Sunnydale and hide, and he's just like, these guys are not to be messed with. The female that got out of the plane earlier on in the episode is watching from the shadows in the ice skating rink. The assassin next door to Buffy's house feeds on the neighbour's body by disintegrating into hundreds of writhing mealworms, which can reshape themselves into his own limbs at will. So this guy's he's just, there's just worms everywhere, and you just see his arm rebuilding itself. The effects, by today's standards, not fantastic, but I have said it about this show before on other reviews and shows that I've done. I'm into amateur filmmaking myself, and I'm completely self-taught. And the thing I enjoy about shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the stuff that came out around about this time was when the visual effects in television, of course you don't have the big Hollywood budgets in these shows, so a lot of the times they're doing stuff where you can kind of see, you can kind of see behind the curtain, if you know what I mean. You can see how the effects are built and put together and whatnot, and that's very, very educational for me. Besides being a very entertaining show, it's highly educational to learn stuff. Yes. Where were we at in these notes? Buffy is paranoid and jittery, suspicious of each person who passes by her in the hallways of school, including Oz. Buffy arrives at Angel's empty home and falls asleep in his bed. And Angel, he's off. He goes to Wally's bar for information, and throws the vampire face on and starts threatening Wally to tell him, basically confirm Angel's suspicions that Spike is behind the assassins. Before Angel can leave, he's attacked by the mysterious female. Again, at this point we're still thinking, she's part of the Order of Taraka as well. She locks him in a metal cage in the front of an eastern window with only a few hours until sunrise. Back at the library, Giles realises that the missing manuscript contains the ritual to restore the weakened vampire back to health. Of course, that's all stuff that we've already gotten as the viewer earlier on in the episode, and there's a lot of stuff in part 1 here where the good guys are kind of just researching all the time and just playing catch up to get up to speed of where the viewer's actually at. in the episode. Xander and Cordelia go to Buffy's house to see if she's there. Nobody knows where she's at. They're ringing her, trying to get her. There's no answer on her phone. Of course, she's in Angel's pad, sleeping in a scratcher. If you don't know what a scratcher is, in Northern Ireland, the scratcher is another name for your bed. So she's on the Angel's scratcher, taking it easy, and Xander searches for Buffy in Buffy's house. Cordelia waits downstairs and she hears a knock at the door and lets in the mealworm assassin. He's posing as this guy selling beauty products, and of course Cordelia, she's into her looks and beauty and whatnot, and when he offers her a free sample, she's like, yes, come on in, and the door closes. That's the last we see of them in this episode. We cut back to briefly to the bar where Angel's locked in at, and you see the sun is starting to creep into the room that he's in, and he's still beaten, trying to get out of this cage. And back in his pad, Buffy is attacked by the mysterious woman. They fight, and the woman asks Buffy, who are you? Because as far as she's concerned, she's seen Buffy kissing a vampire. And Buffy's like, you attacked me, like, who the hell do you think you are, sort of thing. And the girl replies with, I am Kendra, the Vampire Slayer. Great little episode. I remember this one catching me off guard whenever I watched it the first time around, but it's this, of course we will eventually learn in part 2 why there is another Slayer. And spoilers right now, if you remember that last episode in season 1 when the Master bit Buffy and Xander had to pretty much give her the kiss of life, resuscitate her, bring her back. Technically she was dead for a matter of moments, and that was enough in the mystical realms of the powers that be to say, oh, Slayer dead, select another one. So this is a case of 2 Slayers alive at one time, and this isn't the last time this happens, of course, but we'll get to that when we get to that. This is a great little episode, and if it's the first time and you want to watch a Buffy episode, probably wouldn't recommend this one. It's very, very entertaining. It's great for story building, character building and whatnot. You get a lot more from Buffy and Angel's relationship in this episode, but if you're coming into it fresh and you come across this episode for your first watch, probably not the most exciting one to dip your toe in, but fantastic nonetheless. And I'm looking forward to actually getting a little watch part 2 again. As I'm watching these episodes, everything, like, I've seen everything Buffy the Vampire Slayer related as far as the show and whatnot goes, but it's been that long since I actually checked out this series that I'm going into it fresh. There's a lot of stuff on here, even for me, that I'm not remembering, but then if you hit some key moments, it all starts coming back to you. So honestly, part 2 of What's My Line, I know where it goes as far as Kendra goes, but anything else in that episode, not 100% sure at this point. So this is as much an exploration for me as it is for you if you're new to the series, and if you're a Buffy fan like myself, I hope that you're enjoying these episodes. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for this podcast. I will see you tomorrow night for, what is it we're getting into tomorrow night? Yes, we're starting the Hammer House of Horror TV series from, I believe, 1979 it came out, and that's a fantastic series. Looking forward to getting into that with you as well. So tomorrow is that, and Friday we're going to be doing part 2 of What's My Line. So guys, I'll talk to you in the next episode. This has been a production of Coins Age Media. Thank you so much for listening.